Hello, everyone. It's Lisa. I'm back and I'm ready to show you my next video. This is my first try with ice resin. So, just so you know, this is not like an expert how-to. It's my my first try and I make a lot of mistakes. But before we get into that, I wanted to do a quick explanation as to why I have not made any videos. As you can see, I had a house fire in the middle of September, right after I did my last video. And everything I own, except for my car, was ruined, destroyed, non-salvageable. So, as you can see, this is my upstairs door where I usually walk in, and here's my bedroom. The paint was burned off the walls in my bedroom. My bathroom, which is the furthest thing from the fire, and of course it's a complete mess. Here is my craft room, the center of the fire. Now, you can see those little tags. They're still months and months later working on the cause and figuring out what happened. Here is one of my sewing machines. How sad. Anyway, so that's why I have been incognito. I finally have enough stuff, so I'm back to making videos, and I'm super excited because crafting has really helped me kind of work through this incredible nightmare. So here we go. Here are the things I'm using. Here, the mold release and conditioner, I have no idea if it was actually helpful. These little cups, which have the measurements, and the ice resin. So I've sped up the video so it doesn't take quite so long. It took a long, it took a while. This whole process took, probably an hour of actually doing it and then 12 to 24 hours of drying time. So for resins, they usually come in two parts. And this is a drying resin. I know that some resins you have to get like UV light or something like that. Not these. These just dry. It takes 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours, I think, to dry. So I did this in the morning, and the next morning is when I took it out. So I've never done this. There's not a whole lot of videos online on how to actually do resin, apparently. So I found this like mold release, and I thought that might be helpful. I don't know if it helped or hurt it. I think next time, which I'm going to have another video coming up soon, I'm not going to put the mold release in, and we'll see if it's worse or better. But I went ahead, mold released everything. Even I only made 2 ounces, so I didn't make a cast of each individual thing I'm putting the mold release on, but I went ahead and put it on everything. So most of them that I used, well, all of the ones that I actually used are Prima Marketing. IOD designs. They're all linked below and on my blog post, so if you're interested, just go there. My parents actually got these for me for my birthday. It was a couple weeks ago, and I was really excited. So when my niece, who I now live with, was gone, I went ahead and did this because she's 4 years old, and I really didn't want her putting her fingers in it and then putting them in her mouth and getting sick. So here I am taking the resin, and I had a hard time actually seeing these numbers, so I decided I would do the whole thing. And you have to do half and half, so half of one and then half of the other. And so what I went ahead and did is marked the lines, and then when I had it flat on my table, I was able to easily see, where to pour to. So the 1 and then the 2 ounce. And on my phone, I have the 5-minute timer, because as soon as I stop mixing and I get it mixed perfectly, I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes, which I guess is the time you need to actually bond the things. I'm not a chemist. I don't know. They just told me that's what you need to do, so that's what I did. So you can see I did the part A and then up to the line, and then I added the part B up to the line. Now I'm gonna show you a clip of me starting to blend this. You're not supposed to do it really fast. You're just supposed to do a slow, steady fold pattern. So here you can see I'm starting, and there's where I start folding. So I've started folding it in all together. And I did that for, I don't know, 2 minutes until it was about this consistency, and I went ahead and started it and just let it sit for 5 minutes. Now, while I'm letting it sit, I'm getting out the things I'm going to try. I tried this Distress Spray Stain. Quick thing, it doesn't work. Don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't work. And then also these Pearl-Ex powdered pigments, they work. Go for them. And the Folk Art acrylic paint, that doesn't work. I'm trying to save you some of the heartache that I had and telling you that the Pearl-Ex powder works great. The other two don't. They don't color it. What I have got for the next try is the ice resin tints. So anyway, so here I've put 2 in. I went ahead and just mixed the things in the molds. Next time I'm gonna get some of those little dentist cups and mix it in this little cup and then pour a little bit into those and then mix. There's some cool things that happen when you mix it in the actual mold, but I think it'd be better if I had mixed it prior, gotten it right consistency, and then put it in. So here I'm putting in some prills, which I think would be really cool if I'd put a small layer down, let that dry, and then put another layer and put the prills there because they fell straight to the bottom and then it doesn't look as great. Here's the acrylic paint. It really just becomes little dots in there and just it doesn't work. It doesn't look good. The Pearl-Ex looks really cool. One thing you can see that I'm doing is cleaning up around the edges as I go. That's something I found was really helpful. You can just leave it, but then you have to deal with it. It's much easier just to clean it up here. This one, the purple one, is one of my favorites. These two turned out really cool. I'm excited to try them again. This one on the left turned out the worst. I could not get it to work. It looked terrible from the beginning to the end. But my thought was that even if they looked terrible, I could just paint over them and try again. So some of them came out pretty cool, some of them didn't. We'll see that in a minute. But I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot. So I'm going to come up with a second video, show you kind of what I've learned. These are what they looked like as they were drying. And here I'm taking them out of the mold. This was super fun, taking them out. It's kind of popping them. It's fun and you get to see the reveal. So here's the one with the prills. And like I said, they just all fell to the bottom. I think if they were suspended in there, that's why you need to do 2 layers to actually use the prills. So, and I think with anything heavy. Let's see. And as you can see, the acrylic paint isn't able to dry. So that white one, it's just a big mess. It looks okay, but not great. So as you can see, now one thing you might be able to notice is they don't come out super glossy. They came out matte and like the back is glossy and then the front isn't. So on this one and the next one, it looks pretty cool, but some of them, they really need to be glossy. So what I need to do is add a layer over the top, which will be in the next video. And you can, so that you're able to see it more clearly. This one, even though it was the one with the distress stains, it was my favorite. Now the distress stains also didn't dry. They didn't mix in. You just get little dots. Not great. But the Pearl-Ex, using the 2 different Pearl-Ex was a lot of fun. This one is the first one I did, and I just left it all clear. That one's the best, so you can see the matte issue, just very matte. And here's the terrible one. This one I didn't clean as well as I was working, so I got a lot of crud on the edges, which just added to the super ugliness of it. As you can see, this paint also didn't dry. Don't use paint. Like, I think you need to use the tints or the alcohol ink. I think alcohol ink will tint it. I think. I'm not an expert, but I think. So I'll try it out in the next video. But this one was just terrible. It was just super ugly. But all the other ones were okay, and some of them I'm definitely going to use on some multimedia projects. I'm really excited about that. This one I'm definitely going to paint or just throw away. It was just terrible. And it's not the mold. I felt like the molds were super great. Um, I, I think that they have a slightly rough finish, and so you don't get the shine. So I'll have to paint over them with a layer of the resin and let them dry again. And I haven't done that yet, but here you can see all of them just laid out. And the ones on the left are my least favorite. The ones on the right are my favorites. So some of them came out really cool, some of them not so much. Here are the close-up photos of all the pieces I made, and you can see all the stuff I was talking about now close up. So if you'd like to see more videos, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and you'll be able to see my new video coming up later this week and the new ice resin video I do in another week or two. So have you ever used resin before? Go ahead and comment below because I'd love to know. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.